Hi guys, Wes Harrison with Above and Beyond Auto Repair, and I'm on my way to Colorado to go do a little indoor skydiving. I thought I'd make some quick videos about some common asked questions that I get. Starting and charging system on your car. How do you know if it's all good and all that good stuff? Because you don't want to get stuck during the winter. Okay, first things, batteries generally only last about 5 years as a general rule of thumb. If you look at your battery and the battery's not square anymore, but the sides are kind of bulged out a little bit, that battery's not long for the world. It may last through the season, it may not. If you absolutely don't want to be stuck and the battery's over 5 years old, just replace it. At the same time, make sure the battery cables are all nice and clean and there's no corrosion. Especially if you're putting in a new battery, get all that corrosion off there. Use some good corrosion cleaner. Baking soda and water does wonders with a little wire brush. Clean all that off, get all that stuff out of there, and then use some good battery protectant like axle grease, but they make a spray or a coating. Use that because that stuff works great. And it'll keep that corrosion from coming back and going down the wires. As far as your charging system, that consists of the alternator and the battery. As long as your alternator is anymore, alternators either work or they don't. Very rarely anymore do we get one that's kind of working and kind of not. More often than not, it's a battery that's sucking the juice out of the alternator and making it look kind of weak. You put in a good battery where it's not shorting out internally and the alternator seems to be just fine. You can have the alternator tested. Don't pull off a battery cable like what you used to do in the old days. Don't pull off a battery cable, and if the car's still running, it's good. That's what Uncle Joe does, and Uncle Joe has cost many people computers. Once you pull it, that battery acts as the stabilizer. If you pull that battery cable off, alternators are putting out 135, 140 amps. On average, that's just the everyday run-of-the-mill alternator now. Back in the 60s and the 70s, alternators were 35 amps. Not anymore. All these creature comforts, alternators have way up the juice. And it's the amperage that does the damage, not the voltage. So when Uncle Joe pulls that battery cable off, there's nothing there to stabilize that alternator. That alternator goes to max output. Bam-o! And there goes your computer. There goes every electronic component plugged into the cigarette lighters, the horn. It'll burn out everything. It can burn out everything. So beware, that trick doesn't, you don't want to do that on a computerized car, and all cars nowadays, for the most part, are computerized. Anything 96 and newer has a computer, I guarantee it. So don't do that trick. Have it tested. There's an alternator tester. Just you put the charging system under a load, and that determines whether or not it's putting out what it's supposed to or not. Starting system. Starting system consists of the battery and the starter. There is no real test for the starter, but I will just go as far and say this. If you turn the key and it goes click, and then you have to turn the key again and it starts, that's a warning. It's letting you know it's on its way out, and that would be the starter. Or you've got dirty battery cables or a bad ground. Generally, I can't tell you which one it is without looking at it, but if you turn the key and it goes click, 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 and then starts up, and your battery cables are clean and you know they're clean and nobody's messed with the ground cable going where it attaches at the engine, it's the starter, and the starter solenoid is on its way out. Now, starters and starter solenoids only come as a unit now, so just get a new starter and have a new starter put in, because it won't be long before it'll just go click, 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 and you'll get nothing. Sometimes you can get lucky and smack it with a hammer and get one more start out of it, maybe even two, and then that's the end of it. So that is your starter and charging system in a nutshell. If you have any questions about what I talked about, feel free to give me a call. My name is Wes Harrison. Phone number is 816-453-8282. And if I can help you, guide you in the right direction, whatever you need, that's what we're here for. Feel free to give us a call. You can also get a hold of us through our website. It's aboveandbeyondautorepair.com, and the link's right down below. Thank you and have a good day.